Hey guys, today I'm bringing you a new science concept, one that we haven't discussed yet, and that is density. Now, density, it might be a little tricky for you because you're not really sure what that even means, and that involves mass. And now you're thinking, mass? What is mass? And I'd say mass is kind of like weight without gravity, if that kind of helps. So, think about your weight, not the pounds, but how heavy you and yourself would be. Because guess what? If you're here on the earth, there's this thing called gravity. It pulls you to the ground, it keeps you on the ground so you're not floating away. But guess what happens if you go to the moon? You go to the moon, and you have the same mass, you have the same weight, but you're flying away because there's no gravity. You could fly around and do flips in the air. So imagine now you're thinking of mass, but without gravity. Now density goes with mass. I know it's a lot of science here, but then it talks about how it is affected, like how much space is it going to take up in my measuring bowl here. Now I have about 7.5 cups of water in here. Sometimes it does matter when it comes to how much water you're going to use when you're measuring something. This is just how full I happen to fill it. Because today we're going to talk about what happens with a little cutie. So it's not a normal size orange, it's a little baby orange, it's a cutie. It even has a little cute little logo with a cute smiling orange face. What do you think is going to happen when I put this orange into my water? Do you think it's going to sink, which means go all the way to the bottom? Or do you think it's going to float, which means stay at the top and just kind of wobble back and forth? What do you think is going to happen? Make sure you get a good view. I might need to tilt my screen real quick. There we go. What do you think is going to happen? Sink or float? Let's find out. See how it sunk to the bottom, but then what happened? Came back to the top. It's floating. But why? Why is it floating? It's heavy. If I push it back down, it keeps coming back up. It doesn't want to stay on the bottom. Now that's because an orange is special. You see this orange peel? Because you just eat, take a bite out of this? No, you have to peel it. That peel is what is making it float. Because it has, it's called porous, which means there's, air pockets. So there's air that's able to get into it. So what do you think happens if I take off the peels and I drop the peels in? These are full of air pockets. Do you think the air pockets will make just the peel alone float? Or do you think it'll sink to the bottom? Which one do you think? Because we saw that this floated, and it's a lot heavier. It has more mass than the peel. So what do you think here? Well, let's find out. Do you see it? Do you see where it's at? Staying on top. But now that's a small one. So what if I peel a lot bigger? I gotta hopefully not rip it here and get a nice little big long peel. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is a good long peel. All right, it's gonna have more mass because I'm pulling out the whole thing. Almost. See that? I almost got the whole thing off. Is this gonna sink or is it gonna float? It floats too. It, as well, is floating in the water. And just for the fun of it, that's floating too. That's because, like we said, these are full of air pockets. That is what makes it float. If I sunk it down, I try to push it down. Is it going to stay? No, it comes right back up because that has the air pockets and it wants to float. But now that we remove the air pockets of this cutie, is it going to float? Well, wouldn't it? It has the same mass, right? Just maybe a little less mass because I took off some of the peel, so it doesn't weigh as much. It's not as heavy. Very similar, though. Same amount of water. So wouldn't this float, too? Let's find out. See how it happened? At first it was floating because it was soaking up all that water. So it had a few amounts of air pockets left. But it's ultimately not this. It doesn't have all these little bumps. It doesn't have all these little pores. So what happened to it? It sunk. It went all the way to the bottom. Is it floating back up? No. If I pick it up and I do it again, straight to the bottom because it's lost all its air now. It had to soak up a little bit of water just to get there. Totally full. Isn't that weird how an orange with a peel floats, but an orange without a peel sinks? It's due to that density. It's due to what causes it to float. Those pores, those air pockets. So go ahead and maybe try some things at home. See if you can get some things to float and try to decide why does it float. Now keep in mind, the amount of water you use will make a difference, and that's like way later on in your school years that you'll figure that out. But just a fun project. And guess what? Now I get a nice little snack. Oranges. So sweet. See you next time. Bye.